So I want to talk about a little bullish news in Algorand, including one thing that's maybe not so bullish, maybe is hard to say. But I want to start off with a really positive news about C3. Now, C3 is a decentralized exchange. I believe it's meant to be like basically a Coinbase killer, but it's decentralized, not centralized, and it's going to operate with Algorand blockchain in the background, which is pretty cool. Well, this is being that said, this is really interesting. This comes from our good friend Michael Jordan. Love this guy. C3 Protocol's testnet price oracle powered by Pyth has already performed 1 million transactions on Algorand. What did I say in my post? Did I say 100,000? I did get that wrong. Oops. C3 Protocol's testnet 100 or 1 million transactions on Algorand. It's only been 4 days. C3 is expected to add 10 more blockchains, all settling transactions via Algorand rails. Now, why do I think that this is so cool? I think this is going to be a really big deal for Algorand because we're going to have. You can see that looks a lot like Coinbase. Looks really familiar, very similar, and yet it is decentralized and you are trading securely with self custody. That is a big difference from the regular protocols. Now, it's not live yet, so it does have a login with Wallet, but I think you can get on the testnet. You can see Algorand down there, Avalanche, Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Arbitrum. There's Algorand again, and we're back through. I think this is going to be a really, really cool trust without compromise. Well, you don't need to trust. That is why we are reimagining DeFi to optimize for what actually matters, giving people full control of their assets without sacrificing performance. Trade trustlessly, chain agnostic, so you can connect your favorite wallet from any blockchain of choice and start trading. How are they going to do that? That's going to be really interesting. And margin funding and trading, yeah, don't trade on margin. Just don't do it. Just don't. What the alpha has to say, I don't know if that's. They have a bunch of testimonials, but since it's not live, I'm not that interested in it. But here's what they have Binance Smart Chain on there, Ethereum, MetaMask, Polygon, Ledger, and more. I'm hoping the more includes, and that's just a bunch of testimonials. But I like the idea of that. I think that's really neat. Next generation exchange. It looks like they're implying that there will be a iPhone app as well, smartphone app as well. So I think that is really neat. But that is not all. So we also learned that Humble DeFi. Oh, let's stop sharing here. We also learned that Humble DeFi is now fully open source. That joins AlgoFi, that's also going open source after it announced that it's shutting down. The Oracle will be open source, so that is really, really cool. Also, Lofty AI just announced its first AirBNB property. I think this is really, really neat. Now, I've had mixed feelings. AI, I've had some good experiences, some not so good ones. Recently, learned that the external wallets aren't really working on Lofty, which is really annoying. So they canceled my order, but did not give me the funds back. I actually had to go chat with somebody to get my funds back, which is not how it's supposed to operate. It's supposed to operate on the smart contract, but apparently that's down right now. No notification on the site that is the case, by the way, but it's somewhere in a Discord, and that's supposed to be enough. I keep telling you guys, communication. It's really frustrating. But despite that, I do think this is really cool. I've had good luck with some of my projects. I've been buying the McDonald's one, which is a solid 6%. Also buying the Jackson Avenue one, which is a solid 16%. But here we go. We're excited to launch the world's first tokenized luxury Airbnb property, a townhome built in 2021, listed by a Lofty user and Airbnb superhost. Tokens start at $53, so a little bit more than usual. Well, I don't know. That's kind of a cool project. I like that picture. Let's just take a look here and see what it actually looks like. It said 53, but starting price now looks like actually 50. Those photos look great. That looks like a really, really neat place. And where is it? It's in Atlanta. That's right. Rental yield. That was the full yield, by the way. Go away, Lofty. Rental yield is 8%. Not bad, but not stellar. I mean, I would actually expect the rental yield to be a little higher on an Airbnb. Interesting that the token price went down. So now you can get them at 50. Yeah, but I think that's a cool it's a cool development. That's the first Airbnb property that's on Lofty. So a good way to get exposure to that market without having to get your own property and deal with all the headaches of dealing with Airbnb. That sounds like a big pain to me. These are much more passive, not guaranteed, as we've seen from our experiments. There's definitely there's a number of properties. I have 13 properties not paying right now any rent, so not perfect by any means. There's downsides. Life is trade-offs. Very important principle. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, this is big because the Algorand Foundation announced that it, along with Borderless Capital, and another number of other investment firms are investing in the Pera Wallet to accelerate ecosystem growth. So let's dig into this a little bit more. The first step into the wonderful world of Algorand, ? Creating and connecting with a wallet. Yeah, I agree. It used to be my algo, and that didn't go so well. But according to this, Algorand Foundation, Borderless Capital, Arlington Capital, and DWF Labs is investing in Pera Wallet to accelerate ecosystem growth. Now, what do they mean by that? Well, Pera is an open source self-custodial wallet that allows users to store, buy, and swap on the Algorand blockchain safely. Yeah. Foundation's role is to foster the growth and adoption of the Algorand ecosystem with necessary tools, support, infrastructure, or success. Pera Wallet is a critical component of the ecosystem's infrastructure, so we have stepped in and accepted responsibility of stewarding it forward. Why is that? The aim is to give Pera the support it needs to continue to serve our amazing ecosystem. I'm just trying to get to the interesting part. The existing core Pera engineering team will continue to work on the project led by Pera's CTO, H. Yigit Guler. Okay. Bruno B. Martins brings a wealth of experience in wallet architecture. Blah, blah, blah. It's important to say that we'll continue to support and promote wallets in the ecosystem, which DeFi, Exodus, Fireblocks, Ledger, MyAlgo. MyAlgo's still on that list. By the way, when's the last time they updated? We'll go back and look at that. According to this, Pera will be stronger than ever before. Pera is the most popular wallet. Why are they stepping in, though? At some point, well, here, what does Elder say? He's got probably nothing to see here, just another project on Algorand Rails supported by Visa. That's cool. But why are they they didn't say why it was necessary for them to step in. They say that right here. It's a critical component of the ecosystem's infrastructure, so we have stepped in and accepted the responsibility of stewarding it forward. That's very interesting. Actually, that might not be as bullish as I thought. That's a little concerning because why did they feel the need to step in? Very, very interesting. Interesting. And then the last thing, I'm going to stay on here. Hold on. And then the very last thing is that I'm having a Mitch McConnell moment here. Or a Dianne Feinstein. I don't want to offend anybody on either side. Is that Algorand Naming Service has announced that it's shutting down. Now, this is really interesting because Algorand Naming Service is the first naming service I used to get the FrugalBC.algo name. And by the way, it worked pretty much nowhere. And then later on, I met John from Non-Fungible Domains and ended up getting FrugalBC.algo from them. And then it actually worked the way it's supposed to. I was able to enter it, FrugalBC.algo, into different things, and it actually did what it's supposed to do. The other one did, as far as I could tell, it actually did not do a thing. So they announced recently that they are shutting down. And I just want to find what they said. It said, "Dear Algorand community," I can share this. Dear Dear Algorand community, is with a mix of emotions that we announced the sunset of ANS while we had envisioned ANS to decentralize the cornerstone infrastructure for digital identity on the Algorand blockchain. We humbly admit that it has fallen short of its goals. Yeah, honestly, I just, maybe it got a lot better. I don't really know. All I know is that I had it for a long time. It says ANS domain holders can claim back all their algos at this link. Any wallet that has ever successfully registered an ASA domain will be able to claim back the registration fees. So apparently you can actually get your registration fee back from ANS. That's bullish. And that's interesting. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I paid for a service. You provided the service. It wasn't very good. It didn't seem to work the way you said it would. So maybe that's. But if it had worked fine, I'd say, well, it's fine. You can keep them. You can keep the fees. It's not that much. You paid me for a service. I used it. I might actually get my money back because it didn't work very well. So anyway, it's algo name service.domains /hashtag /withdraw. You can see it on the screen there, right here. I don't know if you can see my arrow, but it's right here. And you can get your money back for ANS.